Interests, demographics, and behaviors. So these are the three main things that you can actually use to target people on Facebook, but I think a lot of times people actually ignore one of the most important parts of targeting people based off their interests, demographics, and behaviors, which is going through all of the available options. Because if you don't know as a Facebook marketer what types of interests, demographics, and behaviors you can actually target, then how could you possibly apply them in the best, most efficient, and most intelligent ways to actually find your perfect customers? And so we're gonna go through right now all of the different interests, demographics, and behaviors that Facebook currently offers, literally one by one. And remember, guys, Facebook has its own internal data, but they also partner with huge data companies and data science companies, and they purchase data like that costs literally millions or even billions of dollars from these people like Axiom, Epsilon, Experian, Oracle Data Cloud, which used to be Datalogix, Quantium, basically to collect information that they wouldn't be able to get specifically from people's browsing history on Facebook related to like income, loyalty card programs, surveys, census data, independent data providers, all of these things that just make Facebook so unbelievably accurate at actually targeting your perfect customer. So in order to actually see all of the different detailed targeting metrics that you can actually kind of use to find your perfect customer and to show your ad only to people who are interested in the things related to your product, one of the common ways that I like to do this is actually just using the browse, right? Nobody else out there talks about this because it's like so simple, but it's one of the most powerful ways to get ideas for yourself when you're actually going to start to target your target audience. And so I would suggest, every, few weeks or at least every month to take a look and browse through these, because the people who, know about new interests and new targeters that Facebook allows you to target before the masses, right? If you read about it in a blog article, for example, or one of like the big influencers as far as Facebook ads, by the time you read it in that blog, so has everyone else. So the people who are really the expert marketers are the ones who are looking through these, every 2 weeks to a month and seeing, okay, that one's new. Like that is actually perfectly applicable to my business. And so let's actually start going through these. We'll maximize this so we have a little bit more room on the screen. And so if the first, we see that there's demographics, interests, behaviors, and then more categories, right? So if you didn't click more categories, you wouldn't know that they owned a Nokia phone, for example. So we're gonna take a look at demographics starting first. And so what we see here is there's a bunch of other sub menus. So maybe like we're targeting people who, who are interested in attending grad school, and we're advertising, on behalf of a university or something like that. We can literally target people based off of their fields of study. So we could target, accountants, for example, and we can target people who are interested in accountancy, just as an example. But if we, want to go back here, we can target people based off their university. So maybe I was selling like Stanford merchandise, for my e-commerce business, or I was selling season tickets or like on behalf of the Stanford School of Football or something like that. And those are probably terrible examples, but if I wanted to, I could target specific universities, which is super, super powerful. But let's get a little bit deeper. So we can actually go into education level specifically. So we can literally target people who are at university, people who are college students are obviously like much more likely to buy, maybe I had an e-commerce business and I was selling beer pong tables, for example, then maybe at university would be a perfect demographical kind of detailed targeting to use to get in front of the right people who would actually, be interested. We can target people who have some university, some people who are university graduates. We can target people with, doctorate degrees. If we had something that was, obviously like a product that was more catered towards people, with PhDs and with, the kind of the largest amount of educational background. We can target people based off of their income, like we saw before, people who are, 40,000 to 49,000. We can target people all the way up to, over 500,000. We can also target people, not just based off of their yearly income, but we can target them based off of their net worth. And so if we were targeting, maybe we were a real estate agent, for example, that was targeting, selling a luxury home, for example, and we were targeting people who were first-time home buyers with a net worth over 2 million. That would be, a very good kind of set of detailed targeting to start out with. Because when we're doing this, guys, like I've said before, we are taking shots in the dark, quote unquote, but we're doing it in a very educated, intelligent, efficient way with a lot of thought put into it. We're not just like throwing darts and hoping that they stick. And so that is financial. We can also look at home, right? We can talk about home ownership, first-time home buyers, homeowners, renters, right? Another great split test, if I was a real estate agent, would be I would split test, targeting first-time home buyers to try to sell them a new home, but I would also target renters, right? People who are renting are probably more likely to eventually buy their first home than people who are already homeowners, for example. But if I was targeting, maybe I was a financial company and I wanted to target people to potentially refinance their homes, then obviously I would want to target homeowners, right? So the point of this kind of video, and as we go through this, and hopefully I'm not boring you guys by going through all of these, but the point of this, guys, is to start spinning your own wheels about how you can apply this to your own business, to your own service, to your own products, right? And if you don't have your own products or business, then understanding exactly how to do this when we get to the section about creating your own Facebook ad agency is going to make you so many light years ahead of your competition. It's going to be ridiculous. We can target people by home type. Right? People who live in apartments are probably more likely to buy certain things than people who live in multifamily homes, right? If you were selling like a trampoline, probably I'm not going to have space for that in my apartment. You can target people based on their home value, right? I had a friend who was selling LED light fixtures for like luxury homes to make them like look super beautiful and they look so amazing, right? I probably wouldn't want to target people who had a home value between $50,000 and $99,000 if I was targeting them, with a $10,000 LED package for the outside of luxury homes to really just make them really sparkle. Household composition. So we can target people who have grandparents in the home, people in households that enjoy activities and visiting their grandparents, right? We can target people who are new parents. People who are new parents would be a great place to target if I had, for example, a company that sold baby products. Maybe I sold, teething, those little banana things that babies chew on, or maybe I was selling, something related to the military or something that veterans might be interested in. Maybe I was targeting. Maybe I owned a fashion company of upscale kind of professional dress for women. I would want to target obviously working women, young and hip. I wonder how Facebook determines hip. Young adults in home. Right. Again, all of these things are so fantastic and important for us to kind of make use of. There's life events, anniversary, right? Anniversary within 30 days. I mean, I don't even have to say this one. If I have a jewelry company, for example, and I had like a little necklace that said, happy anniversary or something like that, I can literally target people who have an anniversary within 30 days or within 31 to 30 days. Like you could literally make this so specific. I could say, have an anniversary coming up in the next 30 days. Make sure you don't forget it. Or like have a picture of like an angry wife like yelling at you or like throwing something, right? Or an angry husband. But I mean, that would be a perfect way to kind of make use of this. And you might even like remind someone that they have an anniversary in the next 30 days. And then they're going to be for sure going to buy a product from you and probably send you an email thanking you. You can target people who are away from their family. You can target people who are away from their hometown. All types of life events here. You can target people based off of their date of birth. Like maybe you had like a stone business where you were selling people's birthstones, or you had like a zodiac blog and you wanted to like drive more traffic to your blog, or a horoscope or something like that. You can literally target people who have a birthday in a specific month, which is fantastically important because you can really cater it. You can make it so specific. Like for example, I have a friend who sells t-shirts. Like he sells a ridiculous amount of t-shirts. And what he'll do is he'll make like made in 1970 or whatever for like or it would be like 1968 for like a 50th birthday, and then he would sell it to people only that were born in June because he knew that they had a birthday coming up if it was June, for example, and they were turning 50. And so he would say like, have a 50th birthday coming up, like make sure that you check out this awesome t-shirt. Which is a fantastic way to kind of be very specific, because people who are specific win on Facebook. You can target people who are friends of. This is one of the most powerful categories. Close friends of men with a birthday in 0 to 7 days. This is absolutely powerful, right? Because not only can you show ads to people who are close friends of men with a birthday in 7 days, we could say like, have a close friend with a birthday coming up, make sure you check out like our awesome, merchandise on men's birthdays, or maybe you're selling like a tactical flashlight or like camping gear, and you could combine, people who have close friends of men with a birthday in the next 0 to 7 days with people who like camping or who like Coleman or popular, popular camping brands. These are the types of, kind of synergies and combinations that make you a next level Facebook advertiser. People who see the creativity and who see the connections, right? Before you do all the work to go find a product, people who kind of understand it and are able to really target it and see the potential ways they could target people on Facebook before they put all the time and energy into like going and launching a business are the people who succeed, right? The people who spend a month or two creating a store thinking that their product's going to be awesome, and then they realize that they aren't able to actually target any people who would be interested in that product are the people who fail, right? You can target people who are friends of newly engaged people, friends of newlyweds, friends of people who recently moved. You can target people in long distance relationships. You could sell somebody like a little photo booth or something that says like long distance sweethearts or something like that. You can target people with new jobs. Maybe that means that they needed something for work, and you could mix that with young professionals who were lawyers and then target them with like some novelty gift that was related to like law school or something like that, right? There's all these different types, and you can see my brain just like moving at 10,000 miles a minute because I've done this for so long that I really start to like kind of see the relationship, which is why I'm able to like go through all of these, some of which I've never seen before, and kind of see how we could potentially use these to our advantage. So if we were targeting, like a new mom, for example, or, this is a perfect one, fit moms. This would be a great one. We could target fit moms who are interested in, Chris Powell, the personal trainer, who have shown interest in Slim Fast. So we know that, they're obviously really concerned or into fitness, and they've had, interest in weight loss before. We can target people who are moms of grade school kids. This is one of the ones that we've actually used in the past for dentists and things like that. Because what you have to think about is people don't always go to the dentist, for example. There isn't always a direct correlation. Like people don't always go to the dentist for themselves, right? They're not interested in a dentist for themselves, because moms of grade school kids and preschool kids are sometimes shopping around for a dentist because for their kids, right? So if you're targeting people who recently moved, so they're looking for, dentists, doctors, and things like that, and who also are moms of grade school or preschool kids, kind of the age range of kids where they'd start to kind of need that dentistry, who are in a certain, income bracket. And, those are the kinds of synergies and kind of things that get me excited, because it just works so well, guys. And I think you're starting to get how you can really start to like, use these in combination in unison to really make a significant impact. So as we're going through this, make sure you're jotting down, ones that could potentially be interesting for your potential clients, and even ones that you think might be interesting, because it's worth testing all of these guys. Because what I've learned is, for example, I have a friend and kind of mentor who was selling a program on how to quit pornography addiction. Which is, obviously very unique. But one of the things that he kind of made a false assumption about at first was that men were actually going to be buying this program, because obviously, well, not obviously, but men are probably a little bit more common to develop a porn addiction than women, was his assumption. And so what he found out, though, was that actually about 85 to 90% of his buyers were women who were wives buying the program for their husbands, right? And so he was making a lot of false assumptions, but he figured out from the data that it was actually mainly women who were buying the program. And then he switched to only targeting women, right? And he was targeting people who were homeowners, who were married, right? All of these things that kind of he started to hone in closer and closer and closer based off of all of these split tests to what his perfect audience was. And then when he found it, he scaled intensely, and he was making just an absolutely ridiculous amount of money. So soccer moms, this is obviously a great one if you have a snack business or something like that, for soccer moms or on-the-go moms or things like that. Stay-at-home moms, trendy moms. Politics, this is an absolute beautiful one. I had a friend who was selling these kind of collectible coins related to Obama, and then I heard about somebody else actually who was doing the same thing for Trump. Politics is an absolutely polarizing subject, right? Doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. Most people have very, very strong feelings about the political affiliations that they hold. And so, I'm without disclosing what I feel one way or another. I've seen, and I personally with my own eyes, people make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars based off of that political polarity that people have. And how you can do that is by selling politically charged products or services or merchandise or whatever it is, and then you target specific people who are those things, right? So if I was going to make a commemorative coin of people who liked Donald Trump, I would target people who are conservatives, right? I would target people who are likely to engage with political content that was conservative. I would target people that were interested in Donald Trump, right? And those three things, mutually exclusive, or in unison, but as targeters that were actually, and like it must also match Trump and must also match conservative affiliation, that would be an amazing start to the ad, where I could then start to really collect, all of the data related to the split tests. So you can actually target people based on relationship status, whether they're divorced. Maybe you're like an alimony lawyer or a divorce a divorce lawyer. You could target people like that. If people were engaged, maybe you have a wedding planning company or like a wedding photography company, and you wanted to target people who were engaged but weren't yet married. Would be a great one. Or all types of different things. So you can target people based off of their employers. Maybe I wanted to target people who worked at Walmart, for example, because I knew that people who worked at Walmart were interested in some type of program that I was offering, like for food stamps or something. You can target people on industries. Industries is a great one, right? If I'm selling like a course, for example, on how to work for yourself using Facebook ads, or how to, sell on Amazon or Shopify, one of the good ways to do that is target people who are already interested in business, or administrative services. If I was gonna, if maybe I was an artist and I was trying to kind of get more eyes onto my art or something like that, I could target people who are interested in the arts. Farming, fishing, and forestry. This is a great one. People who are actually affiliated with that work. Maybe I was selling some farming related product, like a new shovel or something, related to planting or something like that. Or, people who are interested in fishing. Maybe this would be one of the detailed targeters that I was looking at first to like sell some of my fishing related stuff if I had like hooks or lines or whatever. So there's all types of things here. We're not going to go through every single one case by case by case, but if you're selling, things related to business, obviously people who are, interested in sales or were working and affiliated with sales would be much more interested in kind of a work for yourself thing. Or entrepreneurial topics than somebody who was interested in, personal care and at-home services, or people who are, installation and repair services. And so, targeting people who are interested in sales or business, but then also in unison interested in things like, Gary Vaynerchuk, or people who like really represent that mantra of working for yourself, are just beautiful synergies that you can really make work. Office type, you can target people who are individuals who are likely to be a small business owner. This is a fantastic one. Like, this is one of probably the main targeters that we're going to use when we actually go about advertising for the Facebook ads course, because people who are likely to be small business owners are probably also likely to be entrepreneurs. And if they're, entrepreneurs, then they're probably likely, trying to develop additional streams of passive income. And then they might be interested in what I have to offer. So that is the demographic section of detailed targeting in Facebook. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and let's get to interest in the next.